Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you for supporting the channel. Together, we can make healthy living the new normal. Be sure, guys, to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss any new videos when I launch them. And again, real food, real truth. Let's uncover what really is in our food today. Today's spotlight food, bread. Everyone loves a slice of bread. I love a slice of bread. But today we're going to explore if we should look for some alternatives to that or not. And some surprises in here for you as well. So, first and foremost, let's look at modern American bread versus what bread used to be. We're going to start on the easier path over here. We're going to start with the ingredients on what simple bread used to be made of. Ingredients: unbleached wheat flour, water, yeast, and salt. You can actually go to the store today, you can buy those ingredients, and you can bake yourself a loaf of bread. I will tell you that bread is more denser, it's not as fluffy. It tastes just fine. I actually, usually when I do this actual ingredients there, I'll usually add a little bit of honey to mine to add that little bit of natural sweetener in. But that bread there tastes just fine as well. Let's look at some of the ingredients, and I'm not going to highlight them all just yet. We're going to look at some of the ingredients in modern American bread. So we have unbleached enriched flour, which is wheat flour, malted barley flour, niacin. That's really not a wheat, but okay. Reduced iron, something else, folic acid, water, sugar, yeast, and less than 2% or less of each of the following: calcium carbonate, wheat gluten, soybean oil, salt, dough conditioner. And then it lists out from right around here to all the way down here what could all be in the dough conditioner, although it doesn't spell it out exactly. So I'm going to tell you, assume it's all in the dough conditioner. Vinegar, monocalcium, phosphate, citric acid, and something else I can't pronounce. That's a pretty good lot of ingredients, I think, to be in my bread. So, old bread back in the day, guys. This is what the typical ingredients were. Typical ingredients 100 plus years ago: flour, water, yeast, salt, sometimes, but not always, milk, butter, and eggs. Modern American bread ingredients. Now we're going to focus in on them a little bit, okay? Enriched flour, vitamins added back in. So they have to enrich the flour because they strip it of all the vitamins. So they have to add this stuff back in to make it nutritional to a degree. Sugar for flavor and feeding yeast. So that sugar, when they throw it in there, activates with that yeast and makes the bread fluffier. Calcium carbonate, wheat gluten, soybean oil, and salt. All oils and the dough conditioner add softness. And again, emulsifiers of dough conditioner improves texture, softness, and shelf life. The preservatives is the diglycerides, the enzymes, and the ascorbic acid. It's all there to extend shelf life. Breakdown of common additives: mono and diglycerides, emulsifiers that improve texture and help ingredients blend, Dayton, dough strengthening agent used in commercial baking, calcium propionate, preservative that prevents mold and extends shelf life, sodium something something, improves dough strength and helps bread stay soft, ascorbic acid used as dough conditioner and preservative. Why they are used: longer shelf lives, softer texture, consistency every time, but the biggest and most important of why they're used: faster, cheaper production. You can make it faster, you can make it cheaper, quicker. Ultra processed foods and health. The research. Large studies show higher intake of ultra processed foods is linked to increased risk of what I suffer from, type 2 diabetes, what I suffer from, obesity, metabolic syndrome, heart disease, and what I suffer from, fatty liver disease. Now, emulsifiers in gut health, this is newer research. Recent studies suggest that certain emulsifiers may alter gut microbiota, increase intestinal permeability, promote inflammation. I used to think waking up in pain was just normal for someone in their mid 40s or early 40s. The more research I've done and the more changes I make to my lifestyle, it's not. And disrupt glucose metabolism. Let that sink in. Those emulsifiers that they add to the bread, newer research suggests that they cause all of this. They disrupt glucose metabolism. So, now we're going to do something even funner. And this blows my mind. American bread versus European bread. American grocery store bread, 20 to 30 ingredients in a typical loaf of bread. European artisan type of breads, 4 to 6. Think about that. It's not like Europe buys their bread from the US. They'd be probably in the same shape the US is when it comes to heart disease, diabetes, and other things that are increasingly getting worse in the US, in my opinion. European bread, though, artisan bread, 4 to 6 ingredients. That's it. We need to shove 20 to 30 in American bread. European bread examples: baguettes, flour, water, yeasts. Sorry, it cut off on me, guys. Country loaf, again, flour, water, sourdough starter. I'm sure there's a couple more ingredients. Rye bread, rye flour, water, sourdough starter. German bread, rye flour, water, yeast. So you have the European bread examples there. So the 9 bigger pictures. Convenience over nutrition, shelf life over freshness, engineering over tradition, disconnected from real food, and rising chronic disease. What simplifying bread does: it uses real ingredients, traditional preparation, it becomes a nourishing food again, shorter, simpler labels, and better health outcomes. What a bakery was 30 years ago, well, probably not 30. I'm in my upper 40s now. So I would say 40 plus years ago, this is what a bakery was, guys. It wasn't what it's become. What are we really eating when we go to the store and we buy that loaf of bread? I've showed you the ingredients. I've showed you an example study that suggests there could be problems with this massive manufacturing of bread. What do you think? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Is this going to sway you into buying bread, looking at that label and breaking it down a little bit? So, this is my personal reflection, guys. I have started reading labels. I started questioning everything, not just bread. Bread is today's example, not just bread. I cook more, I choose simpler foods, and I do feel better today than I did 6 months ago, even. And I'm just starting to make bigger changes now. So I expect in 6 months from now to feel even better than I do today. Small changes can make a big difference. My closing message to you guys: maybe bread itself isn't the problem. Maybe the real problem is how far modern food has drifted from what it used to be. And it's just not food that has drifted. Let's talk in the comments, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. So these are going to be um, down in the post, guys, in my video description. I'm going to leave links to all of these. Randomized controlled feeding study of dietary emulator something reveals impacts of gut microbia and metabolium. Again, I'm not going to go over these in detail, guys. I'm leaving these. If you want to go down the rabbit hole with me, I'm leaving these down in my post so you can do some of your own research on this. I don't want you to, I want you to do your own research. I want you to figure some of this out on your own. All right. I am going to go over this a little bit. This is Wonder Bread. These are the ingredients of Wonder Bread. And honestly, out of all the bread that I used to buy, I loved Wonder Bread, guys. Unbleached, enriched flour. Unbleached, enriched flour. That's where it starts. Water, sugar, yeast. Contains less than 2% of the following: calcium carbonate, wheat gluten, soybean oil, salt, dough conditioner, which contains one or more of the following. Again, dough conditioner that contains one or more of the following. All of those ingredients can and probably do go into dough conditioner for Wonder Bread. Vinegar, monocalcium phosphate, citric acid, that which is apparently vitamin D3, soy lecithin, I don't know, calcium propionate to retard spoilage. Allergens, disclaimer, actual product package and materials may contain additional and or different ingredients, nutritional or proper usage information than the information displayed on our website. Read more. Woohoo. This is off of their website, obviously. So, total carbs, 29. Dietary fibers, 3. Sugar, 5. Added sugar, 5. Protein, 5. Calcium, folic acid, iron, niacin, potassium, thiamine, vitamin D. These are all daily values. I'm sure you're aware of how to read a nutritional chart. The percent of daily value tells how much nutrition's in a serving of food contributes to daily diet. It's based on a 2,000 calorie a day diet and is used for general nutritional advice. Lamb's ears and honey.com, bread ingredients. Again, these will all be linked down, guys. Just some different ingredients for you. Just a resource that you can go to and kind of check out. This ultra processed food, 5 things to know. It's a really good read, guys. I suggest you go out here and you read this. It'll actually it'll open your eyes up a lot in regards to what processed and ultra processed foods really do look like. Unprocessed or minimally processed foods examples are fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, seeds, eggs, meat, poultry, pasta, plain yogurt, and coffee. Processed culinary ingredients include sugar, honey, maple syrup, vegetable oils, butter, and vinegar. Processed foods examples are salted nuts, which I will make one about nuts later, apparently, because I love cashews, almonds, and other types of nuts. Cured meats, canned fish, canned vegetables, most cheeses, and freshly made bread, such as from a local bakery. Now, again, processed culinary ingredients, unprocessed or minimally processed. It is, all of those are different than ultra processed. That keyword there, ultra, meaning they've done a lot of crap to it. This is out on the cdc.gov site, guys. Again, it will be a link as well. Ultra processed food consumption in youth and adults, United States, August of 21 to August of 23. Kind of goes over some of that information with you as far as health goes. Um, Again, guys, I'm not going to bore you with reading this to you. You're all adults. You all are probably suffering from diabetes just like me. Take the time out, go look at this information, guys. Do yourself a favor, do the research. You'll be really mind blown by what you actually do find out. In closing, guys, there is one more thing I do want to go over, and I'm going to make this just a little bit higher. All right, which is comparing kids in the 80s to kids now. This is not um, this is not just a bread problem or ultra processed food problem. It really is. Health is becoming habit and shopping based. um, I guess is the best way that I can put it. It really has differed. And like, and don't get me wrong, like my grandfather was a pre-diabetic and he died at 89 of prostate cancer. My mom is a diabetic. She was diagnosed in her 50s, late 50s at that. I'm a diabetic. I was diagnosed in my early 40s. And it, there is definitely a trend that I kind of look at, that it seems like each generation it gets a little earlier and earlier. And I kind of look at, and I've started reviewing kind of what things have changed as we go in generational to generational. And it does make me very afraid for the youth now, or hate to call it that, but the tablet kids out there that are growing up with a lot more screen time. It makes me concerned what kind of health implications we might be creating for the next generation after us. In the 80s, I was born late 70s. Um, and growing up an 80s kid, which is very much what I consider myself, I was 3 in 1980. We played outside, we rode bikes everywhere, we built forts, we imagined more than you can even think of. We had face to face friends, we had more freedom, we got dirty, we had arguably stronger bodies. Now, kids now, and I'm guilty, I have a 6-year-old, and I know that she's not outside playing like I was when I was a kid. She spends more time watching TV than she should. Um, but kids now, inside most of the time, they're on screens for hours. They have less imagination, more online friends. She does not get that privilege. They are scheduled and supervised all the time. They have less independence, and because of scheduled and supervised, they have less physical activity. They suffer with more anxiety and distractions. They have comfort, convenience, but my question is, at what cost do our kids growing up now have comfort and convenience? We are stripping them of the things that built the current generation, that freedom to make choices, that self consequence when we made the wrong choice of, jumping your bike over up off of tires and a wooden ramp. Like we want them to stay in this little perfect bubble, guys. But when we keep them in this little perfect bubble and we don't let them go out and get physical activity, all we're doing is jump starting them to our problem at a younger age. We could be the generation that eliminates the high diabetes. We could be the generation that eliminates the high amount of heart disease and other things, fatty liver disease that's associated with everything. We need to eliminate, restrict, compound those ultra processed foods out of our diet. And it takes not one, but many to do that. And in doing so, we need to do something that's never been done properly. We need to start teaching our kids what ultra processed food is, how it can affect the body, how to look at the ingredients label and tell something is ultra processed, why they shouldn't consume it. They're old enough to start learning what food is healthy and what food is not. And it's our job, us type 2 diabetics, us heart disease patients, us fatty liver, it's our job to teach that next generation not to repeat the mistake we did to get us where we're at. Guys, again, I want to hear from you in the comments. Let me know if any of this resonates with you. I hope it does. This is a big topic. I am going to dive down the rabbit hole on some more food choices. And I would love to hear from you guys and get your thoughts. Like, comment, share, guys. Don't ever be afraid to share one of my videos with loved ones or anyone else. I appreciate the support. I'll see you next time.